right. So we got to keep the thumb out of the game there. That's going to be particularly difficult while I'm holding the phone the way I'm holding it, but we'll do our best. All right, so this is probably not going to work. Let's go ahead and pull this off of here. Switch. Hold on there, YouTube. We will unask these technical difficulties at some point. There we go. Oh man, so getting today's workout live stream started was a particular pain in the fourth point of contact, because apparently my Samsung Note S10 Plus and the Latter-day Saints, or whatever this dumbass phone is called, like, can we get some better writers behind the names of these damn phones? Anyway, the screen is so sensitive that the dang raindrops hitting it are clicking things. So it clicked on this app called Bixby, which I want to kill everybody that worked on Bixby, because that app is from hell. It interrupts you all the time if you have a Samsung phone, because it's trying to, hey, you're doing things. Can I help? No, you're annoying and horrible. You can't help. Go sit down. But then she starts talking, and all of a sudden the news is on, and I'm listening to a report about Mitch McConnell, and I couldn't turn it off. And so I almost threw my phone in the lake. Seriously, not even kidding. But then what I remembered was, well, it's quite a bit of data on this phone that I need to get that's worth a lot of money. And, you know, I teach people about staying cool under pressure. I should probably stay cool. So I didn't throw my phone in the lake. Plus, I also wanted to talk to you guys. But if you are not aware, technology not working properly is one of my... I don't have very many red buttons or, you know, people pushing my buttons, but that's one that can very quickly get me upset for whatever reason. I honestly don't know why, because a lot of things that probably should piss me off never do. But that one, technology not behaving when I'm clicking on stuff, for whatever reason, that one still gets to me. I got some stoic, you know, meditation work left to do to get that one out of my system, I'm sure, but it's the worst, man. But at least we get a beautiful view while we're out here. And so, what do you guys got for me today? What are the questions? I don't have a topic. I'm just out here hitting the trails and hoping to chat with you guys. And just so I can, hold on, let me get, this is another thing that drives me nuts. The stupid ass pen, which is useless. And I lost the pen, so it constantly reminds me, hey, your pen's not plugged in. Yeah, no kidding, Samsung, because I lost your little dumbass small pen that shouldn't even be a part of this package. And I didn't even know it was until I accidentally clicked. I said, oh, this phone has a pen. Probably should have done more research. But now I get constant, hey, your pen's unplugged. Yeah, I know that. Leave me alone. We're both aware that the pen is unplugged. I've told you I don't know where it is, but you're a phone, so you're stupid and you don't know things. So that's going to constantly keep coming up on my screen too. Either way, how are y'all doing today? How is everybody? Is everybody having a great day? There we are. Here I'm playing by the rules of social media. I'm showing my face, which is psychologically and emotionally the most paid attention to thing on the planet. Believe it or not, it's not cleavage, it's faces. Cleavage is up there, but faces is the number one thing that humans pay attention to. So if you're doing marketing and you're trying to get people's attention, to the degree that you can help it, make sure humans are in the stories that you're telling, and make sure their faces are in the story. Don't be like these businesses that take pictures of people's backs facing the whatever. You know, if it's a primary page where you're trying to accomplish something. Now, there's exceptions to the rule. In fact, I actually use one of those back-facing pictures, but it's slightly different in that the woman in the picture is facing the odds. And so the focus of the picture is not her, it's showing her how small she is in the universe, but her standing there up against it showing her how powerful she is. So the image and the symbolism has a purpose. But for the most part, show faces. Everything else on that page shows a lot of faces. All right, so I'm showing my face to appease all of your tsetse fly attention spans. All of our, I guess I should say, because I'm no less susceptible to attention span deficit than anybody else. So here we are. What are your questions for me today? I'm going to go back to showing you the trail. I will say, showing you guys the trail from a physical perspective is much easier on YouTube than showing my face. On TikTok, I can hold the phone differently, but YouTube still won't let you film live in 9:16. I don't know why that is. YouTube broadcast videos in 9:16. Is it that, is there data showing them that if someone shows up and a video is in 9:16, it's immediately abandoned? Maybe. And if that is the data, then I certainly wouldn't ban the use of 9:16. I'd keep forcing it on people until they got used to it, until they got desensitized to it bothering them. Then eventually they get used to it and they're like, oh, it's just a 9:16 video. I think it's one of those things where, damn these apps. Can I live without you interrupting my life and messing up my live stream? Sorry. So anyway, what I'm saying was, if what I'm saying is true, YouTube would benefit from further analysis. Like, if 9:16 is causing abandons, good. It's because you're disrupting people, not because they don't like 9:16. It's because they're not used to it. And people don't like being disrupted. But if you do it enough, and you're disrupting them for a good reason, like desensitizing them to consuming content in a way that they don't immediately like because they're not used to it, but they can get a great benefit from the content that you're presenting, then do it. Now, I'm making a lot of assumptions, and I have no idea what YouTube's stance is on this, or why they're, not their stance, but their motivation for why it's not allowed. Or maybe I don't have enough followers. Maybe at 6 million subscribers, I get that privilege. YouTube kind of has a tendency to, it's funny, man, like this channel does way better than my old one. But my old one started getting all these privileges and access to stuff. It's like, wait, I haven't made a video here in 5 years. Why is this channel getting all the love? All right, Wilfredo says, so I have been in a place of darkness for some time. I literally hate myself to the point that I refuse to be happy for me. How would you encourage someone to start to love themselves? Well, I would have to know you a little bit better to understand what your intrinsic motivators are, right? I can assume that part of your intrinsic motivation system is hating on yourself because you probably have a lot of neuroticism, anxiety, but you also probably have a good amount, if I had to guess, I don't know you, so I'm making guesses in the dark, because that's what you do when people ask you really tough questions and you don't know them. So here we go. And through this conversation, you and I will figure each other out, and we'll get you an answer. All right, so let's continue the conversation. I'm going to make a few assumptions. You can correct me if I'm wrong. You have a lot of neuroticism, right? You have a good amount of anxiety, and you were potentially very conscientious, or in this case, usually under normal circumstances where you're not severely depressed, which I would assume you are right now, you're a pretty orderly person. So it's possible that that orderliness in you, that conscientious part of your personality, and here, I'll let you look at my face while I'm talking so you can read my facial cues and understand where I'm coming from. So that's a great question, by the way. If all those assumptions are true, and even if they're not, don't worry, we'll come back. But if those assumptions are true, then it's very possible that the conscientious part of your personality is trying to redeem you from something that you are ashamed of. You've done something, said something, or thought something that in your view of the world is no bueno. As such, you are trying to hold yourself accountable through punishment and hate, probably because somebody did that to you first, and that's the only way you learned how to deal with your darkness, with your badness, right? If my 4-year-old spills his cup of milk while he's walking back to the table, should I beat him for that, or teach him how to walk better and teach him how to better hold on to his milk? And just assume that because he's 4, and in this case he has developmental issues, he's going to struggle a little bit with motor skills, and just love him until he's good enough to do it properly. Well, you can guess which one of those answers is right, But I imagine in your situation, that is not what people did for you. You were taught abuse through abuse, and now you abuse you because you think it's the only way to get clean, which is what conscientious, and by the way, Republican people are obsessed with, is being clean, being free from blemish, right? So if that's the case, then what we have to realize is the truth, which is you're not as bad as you think you are, and hating yourself is not going to redeem you because you don't have the power to do that. Not through hate. And the opposite of what you're doing is how you actually get redemption. It's showing yourself mercy and compassion and saying, hey, I didn't get it right. And part of the reason why I didn't get it right is not my fault, because I wasn't shown right. Now it's my responsibility to fix, and I own that responsibility fully. But it isn't my fault. And so now I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to man up and become the man I'm supposed to be. And so the next thing you're going to do to get out of the feelings of darkness and depression and all that shit is you're going to start acting. And the first acts you're going to do are to go help other people. Why? Because that makes you feel good about yourself. And the more you do that, the more you build this mythical thing called self-esteem that doesn't really exist. But you will build esteemable thoughts about yourself because you are out there doing good things. Now, for your statement about, I refuse to be happy, my statement to that is, fuck you. Go be happy. Who the fuck are you to decide that you're not allowed to be happy? What kind of arrogance and fucking ego do you have to decide that your human soul doesn't get to be happy? Tell that part of your brain to shut the fuck up and go be happy. How about that for an answer? A little bit non sequitur from what you're probably used to, I'm sure. Let's see. Holy cow, says Snake Plissken. What up, Snake? Wow, holy cow. I just tuned in, and this is exactly what I've been going through in my life. Hey, newsflash for all of you. We've all gone through this in our lives. That's why you think I know so much about it. I don't know it because I read it in a book. I live that shit. And so did you, and so did I was telling a person who I've coached once upon a time, I told him, I said, I'm actually surprised when I've coached people when I hear that they didn't have some type of traumatic thing happen to them in their upbringing. Like when someone says, no, my life was pretty good. We were rich. My father loved us all, never left. My mom was nice and never beat anybody. I never meet that person. I always meet the person that their parents kept them locked in a dungeon and shoved food down the air-conditioned vent. Like, it was ridiculous. So the point I'm making is not to make light of your trauma or to take away the sting of it. Well, yes, it's to take away the sting of it because I want you to be healthy. But it's to show you that you're not alone. We all been there, homie. And that doesn't make your trauma less traumatic. It just means now you don't have to stand alone. You know what I mean? Fairly accurate assessment. Outstanding. Now that that's an accurate assessment, what you've got to do is stop trying to think your way out of depression, because that's what you're dealing with, is anxiety and depression. You've got to act your way out of it. And most people try to think real hard until they change their feelings. Not going to happen. Get your ass up and move. For the next 7 days, you are to do everything you can to properly love yourself. You better sleep right, eat right, and you work out. All of the time spent not doing that, or not spent doing, the things you have to do to make money to feed yourself. Every other waking moment that you're usually spending on porn and fucking Netflix to try to drown all your depression, you're gonna get your ass up and go help some people. Go to an old folks home, go to a homeless shelter, and just say, I'm here, what do you need? And you stay there until it's time to go to bed. You do that for 7 days. I will bet you money when you come back to me in 7 days, you feel like a completely different person. But you have to do the self-care parts right too. This, I'm not gonna let myself be happy. Why? Because somebody told you you're not supposed to be happy? Who told you that? Your mom? Yeah, by the way, she sucks and she's wrong. There you go. There's your permission to be happy. Go get busy. It's a form of narcissism, people pleasing, putting other people above yourself. It can be, but it can also be violent, just depression to the point where you start beating yourself. You don't even need an abuser anymore. Wilfredo says, that's a hell of an answer. Much appreciated. Hey, man, that's what we do here. That's like I tell people, man. If you need somebody to be nice to you and hug you while you're hurting a little bit, Joel Osteen, Dr. Phil. Although Dr. Phil can get gangster sometimes too. When you're ready to go to war, come holler at me. when you're ready to go to war and actually take command of your life and live what you were supposed to be, that's when you come holler at me. If you need feel good, go to some of them other cats. If you want results, and I'm not saying Joel Osteen and Dr. Phil don't get results. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they're amazing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be, where they are. I'm just saying they got a different approach to me. You don't come to me when you need a patty cake. You come to me when you need a kick in the ass. I'll tell you, some of the best advice I ever got when I was at my dark time, when I was suicidal, right? Was a friend of mine who told me after the fact, after I started to get a little bit healthy, he's like, I'm gonna tell you straight up, homie, I didn't reach out to you when you were struggling. He's like, and I feel kind of bad, but I also kind of don't. I said, why? He said, because what I wanted to tell you, I'm gonna tell you now. Bitch, you know how to swim. Get your ass up and swim out the pool and stop being a bitch. And I'm not coming in to help you. He's like, he said, either swim or fucking drown. It was some of the best advice I ever got in my life, because it was a hug, but it wasn't the touchy, feely, compassionate type of hug. It was a, hey man, I'm your brother, and I'm seeing you fucking up, and it's not okay. Fuck you. Get up and do the work, because I know you can. He's like, if you were incapable, I'd come down in the pool and help you, but you're capable. Get your dumb ass up. Your problem's in your brain. Whoa, what is that? I don't know what button I pushed, but it sucks. There we go. Get your ass up and swim. He's like, if you didn't know how to swim, I'd already been in the pool. But you know how to swim, you're just not doing it. Get your ass up and go to work. I said, thank you, bro. That's actually the last thing I needed to hear to keep me in the fight. Got it. Understood. Thank you for being the friend that I needed. Right now, I also have a personality that responds positively to that. I wouldn't necessarily say that to somebody unless I knew that they could take that, right? I've had people ask me who've reached out to me, they want me to coach them. And sometimes ask me, so what's your process? And I'm like, well, my process is whatever you determine you need. My process is based on you. Like, I have standards, I have tools, I've been through certifications, I have all that shit. But when you've been doing it as long as I have, you learn ways that work that the textbooks don't teach you, man. And so oh, come on, YouTube, really? What in the hell? Sorry, guys. This phone is the worst. And I'm gonna have to run here in a second. Not leave, but I'm physically going to have to run. All right, what else we got? Why is there so much traffic out here today, man? This is crazy. But yeah, so people will ask me, I'm being quiet because these cars are too loud, I'll have to scream over them. But anyway, people will ask me, what's your process when you coach? Well, I may have some certain standards and processes that I use, but the answer is whatever process emerges from you, because I've got to tailor what I'm doing to your specific needs and your personality and your temperament. I'm not going to talk to everybody the same way, because some people need to be talked to differently. Like, I've had clients who literally, in my history, have told me, dude, I hired you because I heard you dropping F-bombs all over the internet. And I knew because you were dropping F-bombs, like, I didn't like you just because I like words. I knew that because you were willing to say that in a coaching call, that you were authentic, that you weren't bullshitting people, that if you were willing to say something that you knew was going to be offensive to at least 10% of the audience, but you knew you were saying it for a good reason, that's a real type of cat that I want to deal with, right? So the rain is clouding our ability to see each other. So I'm going to go back to the trail, because this camera is better than the front-facing camera. So here's what. But anyway, that's the game, right? It's got to be tailored to what your specific needs are. I can't just have a cookie cutter solution for everybody. I got to be able to say, hey, here we go. What this person's going to need is a little bit more this way, right? But anyway, my point to you is, yeah, man, you're trying to think your way out of pain. You can't. You got to act out. Let's see. And welcome to the stream. Beat the self-love into yourself with a baseball bat. Gunner, what's up? Let's see, Wilfredo says, sir, yes, sir. Filters, yeah, tell me about it. Filters indeed. But anyway, Wilfredo, that's the answer, bro. Here's the good news, Wilfredo. I'll go a little easy on you here at the end. I know I kind of gave you both barrels, but it's because I want you to actually be healthy, man. Know that my heart and my words are coming from a place of love and coming from a place of shared suffering. I've been where you are, man, at least to some degree. I don't know your whole story. I don't need to, man. We all suffer. You are guaranteed one thing in this life, and it is suffering. And my job is to be the antidote to it, to help you not stay there, right? And a lot of that is about removing fear. But let me help you, man. Your life is not as dark as you think it is. Nothing you're going through is as bad as your brain's telling you it is. And you are totally the right person for your struggle, and you are capable of overcoming it. One step, one day at a time. A lot of these things don't go away fast. Guys, I've had struggles that I fought for 10 years of my life to change something that I hated. And it was my career. It took me, I had owned a business for the better part of, when did I start? Technically in 2003, so 17 years, but 2004 is when I really got started. But it took me 10 years of grinding, and I still had a job when I first started. At the time I loved my job, but then I had jobs after that I hated, and eventually was able to transition out of that. But the point is, there was a time in that circle, and even things I was doing in my business that I hated. And that's one thing I warn entrepreneurs about is, I made the mistake of giving yourself a freaking 120-hour-a-week job that you're calling a business. And I was working all my weekends and working on these projects and not sleeping. And it was cool to say I was grinding, but I wasn't making a lot of money. I was underselling myself because I didn't know how to do sales. All I knew how to do was the artwork, right? I was building websites for companies. All I knew how to do was the art, was the technician work. I didn't know how to do the sales and stop charging prices that are ridiculous because these people, in some cases, were my friends. And blah, blah, blah. So I had to learn those things. But I spent 10 years changing some of the specific things about my career that I absolutely hated waking up every fucking day. Whew, especially when you come from commanding soldiers to basically passing out basketballs on taxpayer money. And it was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm meant to help people at a greater level than I'm doing, and I'm not doing it. And that's my identity, so who the fuck am I now? Identity death, depression, thoughts of suicide. Easy. Real easy to get to that dark place, but my encouragement to you is it gets better, man. And it's not as bad as you think. None of those things. It's funny, when I got to the end of that road, when I finally landed in treatment, it's like, fuck it, I gotta take my hand off the wheel and let some other people put some shit in my brain, because I'm either gonna shoot me or somebody else. And I don't want either one of those things to happen, because that's not me. And it was funny, when I took my hands off the wheel, stuff started getting better really fast. But what I learned when I started to learn self-love, because I had a mentor, just like I'm helping you, who taught me how to love myself, because I had no clue. I thought I loved myself because I loved everybody else. He's like, you can't love nobody else because you don't love you. He's like, you helping people, but you ain't really doing it at the level you could be, because you hate yourself, and you are trying to make yourself lovable by saving the world. He's like, good luck with that shit, because 90% of them don't want to be saved or even think they need to be saved from anything. So your whole identity is based on bullshit. And I'm here to love you despite, like, if you're mopping floors, you're still lovable. Fuck you, mop the floors. Like, yes, sir, got it. And I went through that phase. But my point is, I looked back on it when I came out of it. And my first prayer, I'm gonna look you guys in the face so you can see it. My first prayer when I came out of that wasn't, thank you, God, for all this money. Thank you, God, for letting me win, because I've been grinding so long, and now I'm finally winning, money showing up, people that I need in my camper showing up. My prayer when I came out of that was, thanks for the struggle. Because the struggle made me better. The struggle made me able to have this conversation with you to help you in your struggle. Thank your struggles, man. They're there to grow you, not kill you. You got this, bro. You got it under control. Just make it happen. All right. I know I missed some comments there. Whew. Let's see. Kira says, hey, Brian and everyone. Just headed out for a walk in the rain at our local. Yeah, good. Come out here and join me walking around. I love working out in the rain. It's one of my favorite things to do because a couple reasons. One, nobody else is out here. Or better said, the other people who are out here are the people who really work out, and the people like me, and we always see each other, and it's really cool. Like, we high five and dap each other. Like, you meet the real workout people when you come out when the weather's bad. You know what I mean? It's like people in the gym in June. Like, when everybody's outside trying to show off that fake ass body they half-assed through the winter. You know, the freaking Warriors are still throwing iron hard. June, doesn't matter. Hot. Fuck it, no air conditioning. Go. You know, I love coming out in the rain and working out. Just a little bit of hardship every day makes you a little bit better. Thank you for the message. Got to get back to work. Hey, yeah. Pleasure, Randolph. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. All right. Gonna get up this hill. Now, usually you guys see me run sprints on this hill, but today we're just doing a 3-mile hike. No sprints. I ran a little bit of sprints yesterday. I was battling some nausea this morning, so I'm trying to walk it off. Oh, man. So, instead of sprinting, I still wanted to get a workout in. And, secretly, I just wanted to be in the rain. I love working out in the rain, man. There's nothing like this. It's cool outside. It's about, if I had to guess, 66 degrees, which is perfect weather for me. Love 65 degrees. It's the best temperature God ever created. 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Or if God uses Celsius, whatever that number is. I'm sure if Ryan's here, he already calculated it in his billionaire brain and is getting ready to put it with the decimal points in the comments. Let's see. Wilfredo says, sorry, I got rain all over my screen, man, so it's taking me a second to read these comments. Tempering made you stronger. I get. Thanks. Been following you for a while now from TikTok. Deeply appreciate the honesty. I will keep moving and stay strong. Yeah, hey, and email me, man. I want you to report back into me as you start implementing what I just told you. Will you do that for me? This stupid ass phone. Will you do that for me? As you get through, will you send me an email after every day with, hey, here's what I did to help out, and here's how I feel. Will you send that to me? Will you commit to that? If you will, I'll give you my email address. This is the first time you've been even with the comments. Well, it's only because you guys aren't blowing the comment section up like you typically do. You guys were slow to get here today, so I had time to catch up before everybody got here. Okay, Wilfredo says yes. Okay, write this down. My email address, and I will respond to you, by the way. It may take me a while, but I'll get there. My email address is contact@Bryant, BRYANT, chambers.com. That's contact@BryantChambers.com. All right. And here you go. Here's the mansion, you all. The castle you guys love looking at. People ask me if that's my castle. The answer is no. I've looked at houses in this vein for the house we're looking to buy, but that's not my style. It's a little bit too Disney princess for me, man. and no disrespect to the people's house. It's a gorgeous house, but it's, people ask, yo, is that your house in the background? Nah, this is my neighborhood, but it's not my house. It's not really much. It's a little bit too Disney princess with steeples and shit. I'm good. I'd rather build a legit hardcore looking stone castle like the engineers in the army had before I build something that looks kind of, it's almost like a house you'd see in Arizona. It's just all stucco and blah, 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 which, like I said, is beautiful. I've actually chatted with the people who live there in passing. They've seen me out working out. They seem like cool cats. All right, so yeah, Will, every day, here's what I want you to do. You get to the end of the day, I want you to tell me, I ate right, I slept right, I worked out today, and all your workout has to be, do 50 push-ups. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just get into the habit of doing physical activity. It doesn't need to be a 2-hour workout. Just do 20 minutes, right? Or, you know, whatever. If you got disabilities, work around them. I got plenty of disabilities that I have to work around in the gym. I can't do squats anymore. I mean, technically I could do squats, but I don't do it because of the issues I have with my neck and my shoulders and my back. It's just not worth it. You know, plus I'm a Sasquatch. I'm supposed to be 6'6", with shoes on, I'm 6'3", and I'm out of proportion. My back is curved and weird thanks to the army. So yeah, I'm trying to shrink my screen. Back to the trail. It's easier. So yeah, just shoot me the... Jesus, I'm not paying attention to my surroundings. Just walked through the lake. Anyway, that's all right. It's all part of the training. So in the email, just say, make the title, "Hey B, it's Wilfredo." Just make that the title, and every day just respond to that email to both of us with that same title. That way I know it's you, I know to look for it. So, "Hey B, it's Wilfredo." And then just tell me, I ate right, I slept right, I worked out, and here's the thing I did to be of service to somebody else. And then we're gonna do that for 7 days. At the end of 7 days, you're gonna tell me how you feel, right? And then the answer is gonna be way better, and now go kill your life. Problem solved. Didn't take 7 years of therapy, we figured it out in a week. Let's go. Right? And then your real work can start, because you know, you're gonna feel great after 7 days, but you can't stay there. You gotta keep doing the work. That's the trick. Most people get better and then they revert to their old behaviors. I've been way guilty of that in my life. And you gotta know, you gotta stay doing the things that got you the happiness. You gotta keep doing. Let's see. The Spirit Point says, "Hey Brian, just checking in. It's been a while. I'd have to check my email for the dates, but I think it was around 2017. What's your main focus at the moment?" Well, right now it's you. I'm talking to you, brother, hoping you're doing well. But right now, man, it's helping people take command of their lives, and especially helping military and veterans take command of their lives, specifically their life strategy and their career strategy for when they get out of the military. That's mostly what I've been producing online. And then I do, like on YouTube, I do these kind of fun hangouts where we can just hang and talk, and people can ask questions. Like most of today's session has been me coaching Wilfredo through how to overcome crippling depression, right? And I talked him through some of the things that I did to overcome it in my life. And the answer was I had a lot of help too, so I didn't do it alone. But there you go. Hey, it's Pocket Thoughts. What's up, lady? You passed the exam. Congratulations. Not that I doubted it. You speak 413 languages and you're a genius, so of course you passed the exam, but congratulations. No, I'm really happy for you. That's great. I know that's a weight off your shoulders. A weight off your shoulders. Listen, guys, I'm on Soul Crusher Hill right now. I'm breathing hard and my brain's not right, because this hill, even when you're not running up this hill is murder. So it's what I get for moving to a neighborhood that has a park with a freaking Mount Rainier in the middle of it. We need to give B a GoPro helmet. Yeah, no, I don't use that because I'm really, like, if you guys ever notice, I spend a lot of times filming up instead of filming this way. It's so that I'm not exposing people's personal property and addresses. I don't use it because I don't want to expose, like, you'd be able to see this person's license plate. There's a street sign up here that people I know live on. And I don't want any of the crazies out there, because believe me, you've been in this game as long as I have, and you've talked to as many millions of people as I've talked to. You're gonna meet some crazies, man. More than you ever thought were possible, and way more than you ever wanted to meet. You know, and I've had the old death threat before. It's not a lot of fun. So that's why you guys see shitty camera angles in all my videos. It's because I'm trying to protect people from the two crazy people who will inevitably watch this. Because most of you are fine. You know, most of you, I'd tell you where my address is so you can come hang out. But can't do that because there's 3 crazy people who would get that address and come start stalking you. What's up, Clem? Good to see you, man. See, the Spirit Point says, awesome, man. Thanks for the response. Yeah, no worries. just listening. I'm walking down to get stupid. Clem, don't get hit by a car, man. Come on. What are you doing? So yeah, that's what I've been focused on, is just helping people take command of their lives, bro. And that's always been my mission, to be honest with you. It's never been different. I've done different things to try to accomplish it, but it's the same mission. Oh, here we go with the stupid ass. I swear this is the worst camera ever invented. Like in the history. Or phones, rather. Not a fan. This will be, so my iPhone was my last iPhone. This will probably be my last Samsung. I was gonna hopefully get the Surface Duo from Microsoft, but that thing sucks. So it's like, damn it, I need a phone that lets me behave like a person with a laptop. What phone is that? Because I can't do this 2-finger tap shit. It's not gonna happen. All right, so I'm gonna give up a prayer to Jesus that whoever this fucktard is, God, in the stupid ass Fast and Furious car from 1998 gets to wherever his dumbass, and it's a guy, because no woman would have done this shit, gets to wherever he's going safely, God, because he's gonna kill himself. So help him out, Jesus, even though he probably should just be dead. But you could say the same thing about me many years ago, so we'll just pray for this guy that he gets home safe, because he's an idiot. Fucking dumb people. Oh, God. I hate having compassion sometimes. Really do. Wish I could just be a tyrant, but then I'd have to be a coward to be a tyrant. And that's a whole thing, and I have to get a cape. Never mind. That's cool, B. Mount the GoPro between your legs. So it's that's funny. I probably will get another selfie stick and just hold it out in front of me at some point, but you guys come here to hear me, not see me. Who cares? I will accept that YouTube will not promote my video because it doesn't meet the quality standards. Like, anybody who's worried about a quality standard of the video isn't watching my shit anyway, because they worry about dumb shit. I actually had a dude tell me that once. He's like, you know, this is textbook narcissist. Textbook. He decides to hit me up. Good day, Bryant. My whole name, not B, right? I'm here to tell you that I've been watching the quality of your videos dip for quite some time now. As such, I will be unsubscribing immediately. Thank you. And I was thinking to myself, first of all, why are you, like, I don't know you or care about your existence. Why in the fuck are you telling me? Secondly, good. Because clearly, if the quality of my videos is what you were here for, you completely missed the point. I've done bad quality videos on purpose just to get people like, because I've been in this game, I know how people roll, just to get people like him to leave. Because there are people you never want to deal with. It's like customers. I tell new business owners all the time, do not focus your product and service on people who are broke. They're the worst customers on the planet. Now, and I've been a person who's been broke before. I'm not shitting on people who are having a hard time. What I'm saying is most of them, because they live with a scarcity mindset, which is part of the reason why they're broke, not the system or opportunity, it's them. And nobody ever wants to take personal responsibility. Your fuck-ups are always somebody else's fault. Like, no, take ownership and get busy, right? But anyway, they're not the type of people who take ownership and get busy. They're a pain in the ass. And they're often way more greedy than wealthy people, believe it or not. Because greed comes from poverty. It doesn't come from people who have enough. A guy who has more food than he's ever going to need is not sitting around like, you know what? We need to get more of this food in here and take it from the poor people. Well, we already have more than our whole legacy could ever. Yeah, but you never know. And those poor people aren't worth a damn. Like, nobody's like, there's 8 guys who think like that. Everyone else is like, it's funny too, because I see billionaires getting shit on. And the ones I know or know of are literally in their communities, like making whole cities raise minimum wage. All the shit that billionaires get vilified for never doing. And I can name the guy, Nick Hanauer. Go look at the shit he's doing, right? And some of you may not agree with his politics. I don't give a fuck. But what he's doing in terms of experimentation with wealth is cool, because his mindset was always, look, I'm a billionaire. I can only own so many houses and so many goddamn boats before the shit gets old. Like, and if I keep growing in wealth and other people who aren't growing in wealth aren't, at some point they're coming to my house with pitchforks to kill me and take my shit. And frankly, that's the way it probably should be. He's like, so I'm out here trying to help people get theirs. That's what I see. Like, wealthy people, I've never met a single wealthy person who was just a flagrant piece of shit. I've met plenty of poor people who are, but also have not met millions of wealthy people because they're rare. And they're rare for good reason, because it takes a whole lot of damn effort and bling to become that, right? So yeah, the world's got it twisted with this whole billionaires are evil. Like, no, people are just lazy and stupid. Like Warren Buffett says it all the time. He's like, I would never be as wealthy as I am if people weren't as dumb as they are. I'm like, there you go. Sorry, guys. Fucking here, we'll just do this. We'll keep it off my face from now on, because I can't deal with this shitty phone. I want to throw it in the lake, but I need some of the data off of it. Actually, do I? Because I think most of the data I need is also stored in the cloud on my computer. Maybe I can throw this phone in the lake, and then I just don't need a phone anymore. That'd be cool. Anyway. Yeah, like I'll give you an example. When I do my homeless outreach, when I go downtown DC to, not just feed the homeless, we take food, we take supplies, we take clothes, we go to the shelter to see what they need. You want to know who the first person to volunteer, besides my wife, obviously. You want to know who the first person to volunteer every time is my first millionaire mentor. He's always the first one. When are you going? I'm in. And he puts his sweats on, he comes down there with us and handles business. Like, my first mentor ever, who's supremely wealthy, and I have several of them now, but my first one, like, he's the first dude to volunteer to come help, because he comes from the streets. Like, he comes from hardship, so he remembers. He's like, yeah, I'm going down to help these people because I've been them. Let's go. So I don't know. People are going to believe what they want to believe. They're not going to look into it any deeper than their own biases and laziness, and with the time constraints, because they got to get back to Netflix. They can't miss that special that they have to watch, versus reading a little history to understand the thing they're bitching about all day, every day on the internet's actually not accurate. But, just a moron who makes videos on the internet. I don't know shit. He says, you wear Mali compatible LBE, right? Nope. I do not wear an LBE ever. And you're showing your age, dog. Who's still wearing LBEs? Who's doing that? The Air Force? Stop it. But no, I don't wear any type of LBE. Samsung Z Fold, Samsung Note 10. I have the Note 10 Plus. This phone is a piece of shit, so no thank you to that. The Fold looks ridiculous. The Surface Duo looks like a good version of the Fold. The problem is it doesn't work that well. So I appreciate the suggestions, but I'll tell you, man, I have one of the phones you're talking about, and it's a freaking nightmare. I will never own a Samsung Note again. This phone is a travesty. It's actually worse than my iPhone. I can't believe that. I can't believe I hate a phone more than my iPhone. Impossible. No, very possible. Ugh, had to eat my words. Well, I didn't eat my words. I still think the way Apple does things is annoying as shit, but they still do it slightly better than the Note S10 Plus, I'll tell you that much. I'm sure most of your content's value could be translated, but do you have content already or planned in the future specific for active duty military who are interested in a 20-year military career? Not specifically. Most of my content focuses on after the military, not getting guys. I get a lot of dudes, don't get me wrong, on live streams that come to me with questions before they start their military career. And so I do have content where I've addressed it, but nothing that's specifically focused on, hey, here's how to formulate a 20-year career. Because keep in mind, I didn't do 20 years in the military, so I wouldn't really be able to speak to it anyway, right? I only did 8 years. So I left when I was still relatively young. Like this year would be I would have retired, no bullshit, in July this year would have been my retirement year if I stayed in. But I didn't, so I left. Like my cousin who came in with me retired, and then one of our other brothers is getting ready to retire too. But yeah, no, I can't really speak to a 20-year military career because I basically did combat and then dipped. I was done. I realized pretty quickly that the military wasn't my place. You know, as much as I love the lessons I learned there, I love the camaraderie and the fellowship and the brotherhood. I knew chasing brown people around the world for the rest of my life because these fucking politicians want to keep sending money to these international banks was not kind of how I wanted to cut out my career. And I watched my dad go through that in Vietnam and him tell me to my face before he died, don't let our boys go in the military. I'm like, fuck, Dad, what? He's like, listen, man, the military is the best institution on the planet. I'm not hating on that. He's like, I don't trust these fucking politicians, Democrats, Republicans, or otherwise, to properly use our boys. He's like, they've been fucking us from the beginning, bro. Going all the way back to Vietnam with me and my brothers, so fuck it. Turn your boys into businessmen who can change the world and we can stop fighting these goddamn wars. And I said, yes, sir. So here we are, on orders from my dad. I am on YouTube yelling at all of you to take command of your lives. So yeah, I knew a career. Once I got, basically the day I decided to leave the military was the day I got off a block leave after combat and came in for the briefing. And they were like, all right, guys, this war is at least another 8 years long. How the fuck do you know this war is going to take 8 years? Why? Like, what's the actual fucking objective? Turn Iraq into a democracy? Motherfucker, they still think it's the 11th century. How the fuck are we going to do that with soldiers? You dumb fucks. But what do I know? Pretty much nothing. You know, so I hung up my shit. I dropped my paper pretty much that day. It was like, I'm out. I'm not, like, I did it once because I took an oath to take care of my men, and I did that. I'm gone. I'm not doing this shit a second time. I'm out. I want no parts of this bullshit. And I left. And it was sad because I loved being with my soldiers. I even loved certain parts of combat. I did not love why we were there. And I get it, no war is righteous. Yes, I'm grossly oversimplifying the efforts of the American soldiers in those countries because we did a lot of fucking good too. I'm not discounting that. But it's good that could have been done probably diplomatically if the State Department would do its job and stop recruiting the army to do it fucking for them. But, you know, that's a president's job to figure out. But we're going to be busy worrying about whether or not the president is telling the truth about how much gum he ate last year, not the fact that as a nation we're collectively doing stupid shit regardless of who the president is. Let's see, Fatima says, hey Bryant, please share a bit about your journey from self-loathing to self-love. You may replace loathing with a more appropriate word. Oh, loathing's appropriate. I'll tell you what, Fatima, I just spent the last 30 minutes of this stream telling that story. You can go back and watch it. Let's see. The Spirit Point says, gotcha, still love your stuff. So, having said that, Spirit Point, I am not against, by the way, guys going into the military. I fully support it. Me and my crew won't. Because like my dad said, I'm much like him. I don't trust these politicians to properly use, especially the way they use our SOCOM guys to do State Department shit. It's like, come on, guys. Cut the shit. Like, but anyway, and I might be wrong about that. That's my perspective from my experience and the people that I know that educated me. I'm sure I'm missing something. I'm sure there's other people who have different experiences who can fill in those blanks. I fully support anybody that wants to go in and serve the military, and I thank you for having the courage to do it. Now, do I have any content about how to make a career out of it? Not really, because I didn't make a career out of it. But I have taught guys through how to prepare for the military, right? How to get ready for those types of things so that they can go in there and be set up for success. But in terms of how do you last 20 years, I don't know, because a lot of me and my brothers didn't. I even was in with guys who said they were going to be lifers, and after their second deployment, they're like, fuck this. I'm out. You know, and I know guys that did 7 and 9 deployments. So, you know, I still talk to a lot of my guys who have been through the fucking ringer. And it's just like, whew, good on you, man. I didn't have the intestinal fortitude for that. Let's see, Dana Hughes says, hello, Brian and everyone. I'm listening while working. That's what's up. Fatima says, I will do that. Cool. Thank you, veterans, for your service. So yeah, man, I don't have any specific content for that. Most of my content centers on helping warriors become humans again after war. And sometimes that's not someone who's actually been to a actual war. It's people like Wilfredo who are fighting a war in their existence. They're fighting for their lives. Still a war, there's still trauma. You don't have to have bullets flying at you to have trauma, that's for damn sure. So yeah, don't misunderstand me. I still greatly respect the military and all my veterans that are listening to this. Happy Veterans Day. I had to make a decision not based upon the military. I had to make a decision based upon the shitty leadership that our government seems to keep wanting to employ. And I don't blame our government for that. See, I'm gonna walk out I'm gonna live by what I talk, right? I don't blame the government for that. I blame us. The reason why you got Trump as a president for 4 years is because you're all, myself included, collectively fucking retarded. And that's how a goddamn TV show host can become fucking president. Oh no, I gotta run. You know, all he's gotta do is pretend to give a middle finger to the system, and then a bunch of people are gonna get behind him because they hate the system. You know, like, and by the way, I'm not hating on the Republicans. The Democratic choice was just as ridiculous. And I'm talking about the previous election, not this one. But no nation of educated people should have had to choose between Donald Trump and any of these things that are going on. But we have to choose between those two because we have all collectively decided to be retarded for the last 60 years. We've become obsessed with leisure, retirement, and entertainment, and stopped fucking getting educated and started blaming the system and everybody else for our problems because it's our own goddamn laziness and unwillingness, and not even laziness. Because most people I know are not lazy. They're just misguided, right? But it's like, okay, you got the president you deserved. You're welcome. And it was funny because when Trump got elected, I actually was excited because I knew he was going to be a clown. And I had been telling people for years, all we need, because I've been telling people since 2003, because I was working on Capitol Hill by 2004. It's like, all this shit you guys are seeing in the news is horse shit. Like, I'm hanging with these people. They don't got your back. None of them. Maybe 8 of them do. The rest of them are there for the same reasons you'd be there if you were there. Self-interest. You know? And so I was seeing it. And I was like, the only thing that's going to prove my point, because I felt like Randy Quaid's character in Independence Day, like I keep telling y'all about these damn aliens and nobody's listening. Then the aliens show up and then Randy Quaid like told y'all motherfuckers. And that's when Trump got elected and all the stupid shit started happening. Because you guys don't remember. Like I told y'all the story. I was meeting with Trump's mentor the year before he got elected. I was in the room with him talking about, yo, what's the deal? Why is he running for president? Are you voting for him? He's like, I have no idea if I'm voting for him. That motherfucker's crazy. He's awesome, but he's also crazy. He's both people. And if he gets elected, he's going to be both people. The good one and the crazy one. And frankly, I know the crazy one pretty well. I don't want him to be president. That's his own mentor talking. And I was in the room having that conversation with him. So I knew what was coming. And then I told my mentor the year before, like when he actually announced he was running, I said, Hillary doesn't stand a chance. Trump's going to win. He's like, you're crazy. I said, okay. I said, she sucks at marketing and nobody likes her. That's what determines every election is whether or not you're likable. Trump's not very likable, but he's not as hated as she is. Period. The elections always come down to who's more likable. Magically, Joe Biden won. Who's more likable? Easy. The guy who's not as hateable, right? So knowing that, I was like, this is what's coming. And I said, frankly, I'm excited about it. Like, why? He's crazy. I said, because he's going to do a bunch of dumb shit, and then America is going to get looped into the shit I've been saying for years that you guys have all been telling me I'm crazy. Like, I told y'all the circus was stupid, and like probably 50% of your tax dollars are being spent on bullshit that you're paying for. And no president's going to clean that shit up because they don't have the time to focus that tactically on the problem. So, as soon as he got in and started acting up, I said, told y'all, told y'all, told y'all. I felt like Randy Quaid. See, aliens are here now. Now I'm crazy, right? Told you. So I was like, America got exact, because I had been watching America be fucking baby ass bitches from the time I got home from war till now. And it was like, okay, keep this up. And then you got the president you deserved, you fucking babies. And then everyone woke up like, wait a minute, we can't have this. Yeah, no shit. We shouldn't have had this. You shouldn't have been able to let a reality TV star steal an election. You dummies. Like, he's here because we're all stupid. When's the last time any of you read a history book? Exactly. So, there you go. So yeah, part of me was like, it was like an evil grin when he won. I was like, yep, be prepared for 4 years of all the shit I've been trying to tell you guys for the last 10. You are welcome, America. Finally woke up to the fact that you're a bunch of narcissistic babies who are soft. Man that shit up. Man it up, people. Let's go. Because if you don't, here's what's coming. Another country that's hungrier than us is going to win. So, let's see. Do you believe that the universe is the universe is all loving and responding to your thoughts? Or is it completely indifferent, as it is not hostile, nor yet is it... honestly, I don't know. That question is so abstract. You guys ask a lot of really good questions, but you ask philosophical questions that really have no answer, which is good because it means you're thinking. But I have no answer for that. I would just say keep asking questions, right? Because here's how I would approach the question you just sent me, Fatima. Do I believe that the universe is all loving? Define the universe. Okay, start there. Then define loving. All right? Then I can answer, is it responding to our thoughts in love or is it indifferent? When you can define objectively and hopefully in a way that can be measured, the universe and love, then I can answer your question. But until you define your terms, we're just talking around, I'm talking around assumptions about what you're saying. And I would submit to you that you don't even fully understand the definition of universe or loving the way you are using it, because they're words that are inherently not completely knowable. So, great question. But the question is, what is love and what is the universe? Good luck with that homework assignment. Let's see. Gunnar says, hey, Bryant, do you think we are on our way to another Great Depression? And if so, do you recommend starting a business in the current? Well, I always recommend starting a business regardless. Do I think we're on the way to a next Great Depression? No, I think that already happened. 2007, 2008. The problem is the markets didn't properly correct, and that is coming. Actually, it's probably here now, but I don't think it's not. And the answer is I have no effing clue. I'm not an economist, but I don't know that we'll necessarily go into a depression, because what I do know about depression from what I have studied from the history, not an economist, but I have looked at the history of the Great Depression. The Great Depression was emotional and it didn't need to happen. It actually, sadly enough, was spurred on by media involvement and caused a lot of widespread panic in people. And remember, the stock markets are always emotional. They are not rational. Just like humans are always emotional. They are not inherently rational. We have rationale, but we are emotional creatures, if that makes any sense to you. Right? We have rationale, but we are emotional creatures. What's up, man?
I was about to ask Mom to call you. 1 star is me and 1 star is you.
Sweet. Okay, well, I'm soaking wet, so I don't want to touch them, so you hold on to them for now, okay?
You were in the rain?
I was in the rain. I went to work out.
Isn't your phone waterproof?
It is waterproof.
You're lucky.
I'm lucky. I'm lucky or I'm smart?
Smart.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'll be back. All right. Now I can actually sit unencumbered by rain falling on me, and I can set the camera in a way that you guys can actually see, and we can finish our conversation. All right, let's turn that. All right. Let's see. Gunner says, "Hey Brian, do you think we're?" Yeah, I don't know is the answer to your question. Uh, an economist would have to answer whether or not it's a Great Depression. But it's funny. Like one of the things I always laugh at when I see silly political arguments is when people will start who are not economists and who have studied very little about the economy or economics. We'll start talking about, well, the economy's never been better since Trump was in office. It's like, yeah, the economy runs on a boom and bust cycle, right? Meaning it goes up and it goes down, usually on a 7 to 10 year cycle. So if it's up, it just means whoever the president is in the up cycle. If it's down, the president just happened to come in during the down cycle. And yes, the president can pull levers that can affect it emotionally, but not to the degree of causing a freaking Great Depression, at least not with my very dilettante understanding of economics. It's not necessarily a power that he or she would wield, right? So, no, I don't know. But yeah, I just laugh because it's like, dude, economics is economics. Economics doesn't care who the president is. Not in the macro. Maybe in some of the micro tactical shit, things can change. But in terms of destroying an entire economy, what are you going to do? One good way to stop causing economic crashes as severely is to stop getting into wars for economic reasons. Well, war is always economic, but stop creating wars so that you can drive economic growth. It's probably one way to help out. FM says, good morning, Brian. Do you have a sense of destiny? Things working out for a greater good or higher purpose? Sure, we can control a certain amount, certainly control ourselves. What's your take on it? I don't know. Well, again, define destiny. Like for you guys that love these really esoteric and abstract questions, instead of asking me to do your thinking for you, think through, like, reformat that you and Fatima come back with questions that actually define your terms. When you can do that, I can actually give you an answer. Otherwise, we're just kind of pseudo philosophizing about shit we don't know what we're talking about. Right? What is destiny? Now, you called it a sense, things working out for a greater good purpose. I guess it's possible. Sure, why not? And the answer is probably somewhere in the middle. There's things that are determined and there's things that are not, would be my guess. But the answer is I don't know. But yeah, so instead of asking a generic esoteric question, which I love, by the way, because it gets my brain firing, but a lot of times the answer is just, well, I don't know, and you need to ask a better question because your question didn't define your terms. Like, what do you actually mean by destiny? What does Fatima mean by universe? And the reason why I'm doing this to you guys is we have a tendency in our communication as humans to just throw out words we assume everybody uses. Like, I use the word stupid and retarded very differently than other people do. When I say stupid, I'm not talking about somebody's intelligence quotient, the thing we can actually measure that we call intelligence. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an unwillingness to use whatever intelligence you have because you're lazy. That's what I call stupid people. And I call retarded people the same thing. It's like it has nothing to do with if you were born mentally retarded. I wouldn't insult somebody who has that, especially given the fact that I have a child who has a mild form of it. What I mean is I don't like being around people who don't use their brain and they just rely on their base level emotions to determine all their decisions and screaming at people and not taking time to think about what they're feeling and challenging, because we're all going to have feelings. We're all going to react emotionally. All of us, even the most rational of us. But if you're not taking any time to challenge your little silly ass feelings with maybe I shouldn't feel this way, then I don't really want to hear what you're feeling. Because you haven't put it through the thought exercise. You're ready to jump to a conclusion and yell at the world about the thing you're happy or upset about, and that's great. But I'm not interested until you've put more thought into it than you have. Right, but we use these words and we assume everybody looks at the world the way we do, and we just don't. We all have different perspectives. To hold your phone and not be a parent. Ooh, Ryan's coming up with a device for me to use my phone. That's cool. And B, boom and bust. If you want to understand markets, study predator, prey relationships. For sure. For sure. I like that. Makes a lot of sense, man. I will look that up. Vocab words of the day. Dilettante, meaning someone who doesn't know a whole lot about a topic, but knows a little bit enough to talk about it. That's usually like, unless it's leadership or certain aspects of personality psychology or like business stuff or marketing, if I'm talking about something, it's usually from the perspective of a dilettante. If it's in those areas, I'm usually pretty knowledgeable because I've done a lot of work in those areas. Let's see, Pocket Thoughts is not very different from the situation today. Virus, scare and all, emotionally triggered depression. For sure. For sure. Google Hardy Weinberg equilibrium and damn it, Ryan, man, email me that. I'm not going to, dude, I can't remember what I said 30 seconds ago. You think I'm going to remember them complicated German ass names? Come on, man. Email me that, bro. I won't remember. Or can I copy and paste? I can just do it myself. No, it won't let me copy and paste the comment, man. It'll let me report you to YouTube, but I can't copy it. So just email it to me. When you have your secret billionaire friend on the show. Yeah, gladly, man. Gladly. I'll gladly have you on the show to talk whatever you want. Email incoming. Yeah, Hardy Weinberg. Like, I'm going to remember some hardcore German-ass name. Come on, bro. All right, I'm getting rained on, so I'm going to try to put an end to that. I'm sitting under an umbrella, but it's not completely getting the job done. Fatima says, with reference to my previous question, when I say universe, I mean the totality of existence, both inside and outside. Love for me is human virtue based on compassion and kindness. Interesting. Okay. So if it's all us, if the universe is all of existence, then just ask yourself the question, are you all love? And are you all love for everything in the world? Or are you indifferent to it? Because if we are part of the universe, we also represent an image of the whole, right? Are you always loving or are you sometimes indifferent? All right, any more questions? And that's a great question, by the way, Fatima. I in no way, shape, or form intend to discourage you with what I said. It was really easy to get to an answer because it's like, oh, they didn't define their terms. And I'm calling you she. Are you a woman? Fatima is usually a name associated with women that I know, but you might be a dude, so I don't want to misgender you. Or missex you. Whatever the right term is. I don't know. Clem. All right, if you guys got no more questions, I can get up out of here. And that's early for me. Usually go at least 2 hours, but if you guys have no more questions, I'll roll. Clem says, my lunch break just ended. But go enjoy the rest of your work day, Clem. We'll see you later. All right. Well, there's no more questions. I'm out. It's been a pleasure to serve you guys as always, man. Stay strong, and I'll talk to you soon.